Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I am very pleased to have this special privilege to share with you the current status of the working group's mandate. I think, as you've heard, in 2001, the OAS achieved a very forward-looking accomplishment by adopting the Inter-American Democratic Charter. In support of the OAS Charter, which we already have, we looked at democracy in the hemisphere as a system of government which member states of this organization all subscribe to as the basis of governance. After the social charter was adopted, it was determined that there was a void, there was a need for a social inclusionary vision, a vision of this hemisphere that looks at social and economic development. And therefore, the mandate was given to this organization by a resolution of the General Assembly to develop a social charter which will also have with it a plan of action. And as it were, in 2000 and almost 3 years ago, we began the process of negotiation. The process of negotiation is passed on to regions and heads of missions to chair this working group. We've had 3 chairs so far. Venezuela was the first chair of the working group. After Venezuela, we had Uruguay, and today I am just about finished with my term of chairing this working group. And the working group is negotiating language to bring together a draft social charter and a plan of action to address social and economic challenges of our hemisphere. The draft working group, the working group meets to negotiate language, and we have begun the process. We have outlined our format, we have outlined our draft charter. We're beginning to look at it chapter by chapter. We have concentrated on a preambular section of the, similar to how a conventional charter is developed. However, today we have looked at Chapter 1, dealing with social justice and development and equity and democracy. Then we looked at Chapter 2, where we are taking a look at the issue of, Chapter 2 is dealing with, Chapter 2 is dealing with inclusion and equitable economic development. Chapter 3 is dealing with the whole concept of social development and equal opportunity and non-discrimination. And I can tell you that the negotiation is very, very deep, very broad, very far-reaching. I think the attempt to provide and to produce a demanding charter has been discussed. We've had no shortage of enthusiastic contribution from all regions, and in time, I'm sure you will be brought into the process as we have something to present. We are now addressing Chapter 3 as we have been going back and forth. It is not an easy process. It is ensuring that we bring to the organization something as visionary, something as far-reaching as the Inter-American Democratic Charter. And I am very pleased to let you know that all missions at this time are fully engaged, and to the extent that we are putting together a draft, it is at that time, I know, at General Assembly, and perhaps at the appropriate occasion, civil society will be included as we hear from you what is your thinking. And so this is, in a nutshell, this is in brief, sharing that yes, there is something very positive happening. It is for me one of the most, I think, eye-opening body of work which the OAS is undertaking, the creation of a social charter of the Americas. I thank you very much.